meeting will now come to order. Please turn your cell phones off or put them on vibrate. Next, we have the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Troy Dufresne, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we'll have roll call. Mr. Colley.
Yes, sir. Seat A, Chucky Sheremy.
Here.
Seat B, Rodney R. Gisclair.
Here.
Seat C, Jimmy Lafourche.
Here.
Seat D, Rodney J. Gisclair Sr.
Here.
Seat E, Curtis Pierce.
Here.
Seat F, Larry Griffin.
Here.
Seat G, John Melisson.
Here.
Seat H, Mike Kelly here. Seat I, Chris Kelly.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Colley. Next, we have approved minutes for February 12, 2020, regular meeting. Moved by Mr. Mike Colley, second by Mr. Larry Griffin. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Next, we have Executive Director's Report. Mr. Chasso.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I wanted to mention before we get to the actual projects that we were, last Monday, the Greater Lafourche Port Commission was awarded a 2020 Transportation Excellence Award by the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development, and that was for Intermodal Public Works Project Development category for the Port Fourchon Northern Expansion Phase 2 Slip C Phase 3. Just know it's in Slip C and it's one of the bulkheads we built. All right? And that's really a testament to they gave it for that particular project that we received some funding from DOTD's Port Priority Program. But it's really, in discussing with DOTD, they told us that they put it up because they like the whole kind of design plan that we do in the port where we dredge the slips. We build up the land, then we bulkhead it, and then lease it out to our tenants. So that's really a testament to all of the design engineers that we've worked with over the years, J. Wayne Plaisance Engineers, well, now GIS Engineering, but J. Wayne Plaisance Engineers, John, and Joe Picciola and Associates, and Larry Picciola at Angelette Picciola. You know, they've been the three guys in their offices doing all the design work for our bulkhead projects and slip dredging, and we appreciate them. So thank y'all for doing that, and we appreciate DOTD for awarding us with this Transportation Excellence Award. So thank you for indulging me to tell you about that award we received. All right, first project is a Northern Expansion Slip C 400-foot East Part 2 bulkhead, Picciola and Associates. Joe.
It's Sea Level Construction's a contractor. They've completed driving the steel sheets, welding up the pipe bumper and the whaler. They are working on driving piles still, and they have poured roughly 3 out of the 6 concrete dead men. They're pouring another one today. So all is going well. They are going to be a little bit late on this project, which we'll probably take up at the next meeting.
Okay. Any questions? All right, thank you, Joe. Northern Expansion Slip C 1,100-foot East bulkhead.
Yeah, this project is just adjacent, going northward. Shaver's Widow is the contractor. They're still in what we call a conditional or a preliminary notice to proceed. They're buying material, blasting and painting. They're working on site prep, building a road, the access road to get on the project. And they've also completed driving and testing the 2 test piles. And those tests were done on Monday, and they did come out really good.
Okay. Any questions? All right. Thank you. Okay, moving on to the coastal wetlands part. Thad.
As you can see, I mean, work continues at the coastal wetlands part. The biggest thing that's going on right now is we're getting our MOU together with the Wisner Land Trust. Been working with Bryce towards that and the state to have that turned in for their meeting on March 20th to hopefully get that approved. And then everything else will be turned in by April 1st deadline to go ahead and apply for a grant to help us continue towards goals that we have out at the coastal wetlands part.
Any questions? All right, thank you. Moving on to airport projects. Davey Bro will do that because Joe Wheeler, our airport director, is at a conference.
Okay, so for the last month's operations, we had 1,772 operations. That's the month of February. We had 8,987 passengers, and vehicle count was 16,409. So it's kind of a norm in our operations and vehicle and personnel using the airport. The next project, airfield drainage improvements, that project is complete. The contractor did complete one punch list item they had remaining, and they're in the clear lean time frame right now on that project. And next project would be the airport connector road and bridge, and PCO and Associates will update.
Yes, we're continuing to work on environmental permitting right now and developing of our design plans. Primarily, we're working with the state right now to get a permit from them. We're pretty close on that one. Then we're going to have to move on to work with the Corps of Engineers and the Coast Guard on obtaining permits from them. We're also revising the traffic study to try to get the intersections that we want at LA1 and 3235. It's been difficult, so we're meeting again with the traffic engineers and Chet to try to obtain the right intersection that we want to be safe for everybody. And we're also working on right-of-way drawings with Bryce, and part of that is, acquisition of some right-of-ways.
Okay. Any further questions on that?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Moving on to other projects, the Section 203 feasibility study, GIS engineering. Dustin.
Thank you, Chet. Dustin Marlborough with GIS. Back in January, if you recall, we submitted our addendum package to the 203. The response that we're getting out of ASA's office now has been that not that it has been accepted, but that they're moving forward with a recommendation letter with condition. Chet, I don't know if you want to expound on that. I don't know if we know what those conditions are just yet.
We don't.
But I know Chet's planning, or was planning, to be in D.C. next week for some meetings to get some clarity to what that is. Our team is currently preparing a slide deck to just give some overviews as he goes through that roadshow with the different entities as we work this thing through Congress. So I think all in all, where we are right now is where we want to be. The feedback we're getting is positive. So I know we've been at this thing for a long time now. It's time to get to the end. So.
Yep. So to add to that, just yesterday evening, American Association of Port Authorities canceled the spring conference in Washington, D.C. So we have since canceled our trip for us to go to D.C. However, that meeting with Office of Management and Budget, OMB, will still take place. We'll do it via conference call and send them via email the documents that we'll be reviewing. So we can still have the discussion, because the discussion is timely. We need to have it. But we just won't be face to face. Okay.
Any questions? All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Dustin.
All right, flotation canal embankment work. Davey.
Yes, this was a small project, a washout area on the corner between Hosport and Kaiwet Land Corporation's property on Flotation Canal. Tidewater Docks was the low quote contractor. They installed riprap and fill behind, and that project is complete. Range is $25,000 to $30,000 was the project. We're working on the final quantities on dirt.
All right. Any questions? Looks good. All right, moving on to the Harbor Police Workboat Project. That is still at the contractors. It's still under construction. We're nearing completion. We should have the vessel here delivered to us in sometime in mid-April, we believe. Working on installing, putting the power on it, so that the two engines will get installed on it, and a radio that we're having them put on it as well. But you can see that vessel is taking shape, and once again, it's going to be for the Harbor Police to utilize, mainly for as a buoy tender with the 62 or 65 buoys that we maintain in the east-west canal in the Leeville and headed towards Grand Isle. And that'll be a lot safer for them to utilize than the current vessel that they're using. So it's be good for us in the future. Any questions?
Yeah. Someone mentioned the other night the boat will be finished before hurricane season.
Yes, it will be finished before hurricane season. We should get it delivered to us sometime in April. So what you saw, there was a picture, you can go back. There's some benches on there. Those are removable because we're going to utilize it both as a buoy tender and as a tour boat as well into the future. So everything that we did, it's a pretty versatile vessel. You can even, they even have like a ramp on the front that you can put an ATV or something to cross, like to get to the beach or whatever, that sort of thing. So, all right. Any other questions? Okay, thank you. All right, update from the La1 Coalition. Henri, just a little bit going on right now. It's kind of fast and furious.
Good morning, gentlemen. The La1 Improvement Project Phase 2 Federal Infra Grant application was submitted to the U.S. Department of Transportation by the Louisiana Department of Transportation in late February for $185 million, which is the maximum the state could request on the $445 million project. The Phase 2 project, which comprises the needed 8.3 miles of elevated highway between Golden Meadow and Leeville, has a benefit cost ratio of 4.86%, which means all levels of government and society will receive over 4 times the cost of the project back in benefits over 30 years. This significant benefit ratio will certainly help the application's merit criteria scoring, and I want to thank the port, the parish, our state government, and our federal government and numerous industry corporations for interviewing during the grant's development to help the coalition and the state gather the data we needed to calculate the cost benefit for the project's application. That was important. The application also garnered 19 letters of fiscal support, including the ports, along with the state's commitment that with a workable infra award, it would come up with closeout funding needed. This was impressive and will demonstrate to the U.S. DOT reviewers significant community and business support for the project. And finally, the coalition was able to garner significant, powerful letters of support from our state's federal congressional delegation. All the members of our delegation signed on a letter from our governor, from our state legislators, new House Speaker, and our new Senate President, our new state representative, and our new state senator for this area, Lafourche Parish Government, the Greater Lafourche Port Commission, Terrebonne Parish Government, the City of New Orleans, Jefferson Parish Government, and the Jefferson Parish President, the Town of Grand Isle, the Louisiana Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority, and both our state and national trucking associations, the Louisiana Motor Transportation Association and the American Trucking Associations. And significant national associations provided letters including NOIA, AMSA, the National Ocean Policy Coalition, and the Consumer Energy Alliance. Regionally, we were able to secure support letters from Lamoga, Loga, SLEC, South Central Planning and Development, GNO Inc., our 3 area chambers of commerce, Bayou Industrial Group, and the SCIA. We were also able to secure letters of support from local landowners, including the Edward Wisner Trust, ConocoPhillips, Cayuette Land Corporation, Apache, and others. And finally, we had exceptional letters of support from over 20 members of our business community in the sectors of energy, fisheries, and tourism. We should hear results of the application this summer. The coalition is continuing to work on additional fiscal support letters which can be submitted throughout the review process, and we are monitoring legislation related to state funding for the project at the state level. Any questions?
Any questions for Henri?
I think you bundled that up well, Mr. Boulay.
All-inclusive.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank y'all.
Thank you, Henri. All right, next we have public comment, and I know we have some members in the audience that are looking and running for Port Commission Seat B that's out there that for the election on April 4th. And we'll, if all three gentlemen would like to speak, anyone? Mr. Como, do we have Mr. Perry Como here, who's running. We also have Mr. Johnny Ordon, who's here, and we also have Mr. Rodney R. Gisclair. So whoever is interested in speaking from the audience? Anyone? Okay.
Go ahead,
Johnny, all right.
Whoever's for Rodney. You're sitting there. You have last.
You'll go after,
You go after.
if you want to. You're not talking, okay.
Sure.
Thank you, Chet. Appreciate it. Good morning. My name is Johnny Ordon. I'm running for Seat B on the Greater Lafourche Port Commission. I'm 54 years old. I've been married to my wife, Michelle, for over 33 years. We have 2 grown sons, Justin and John, and 2 beautiful granddaughters, Isabel and Emery. And what I'd like to do this morning is just take a few minutes to tell you about the person you'd be voting for if you decided to vote for me. So I was born and raised in Golden Meadow, Louisiana. I was adopted by Mr. Joe Anselmi and his family when I was 5 months old. I'm a man who's worked hard and scratched and fought his entire life to become the man I am today. I remember trapping Nutra along Highway 1 below Golden Meadow when I was 11 years old to help pay for my school clothes and supplies. I'm also someone who lost his dad at age 12 and his mom at age 13. And it wasn't always easy. You know, I can remember eating mayonnaise sandwiches and drinking water with sugar in it because that's all we had. You know, so I bounced around from family member to family member until moving in with a friend's family my senior year in high school. Through all those challenges, I stayed strong and I managed to graduate from Lafourche High School in 1983. My grades were good enough to go to college, but of course I couldn't afford it. So while most of my buddies and friends were off to college, I moved out on my own and I went to work. My first job out of high school was at Fouchon Docks at Port Fouchon. And except for 17 months back in 2014 when I moved my family to Alaska so I could go to work for a major oil company and be better able to provide for them, I've spent my entire work life in or around Port Fouchon. That's over 36 years, including today. So I can tell you how important Port Fouchon is to our community. I understand how crucial it is to complete the elevated highway to have better access to the port. I know how vital bringing an $800+ million LNG plant to the port is, and how important it is to dredge Belle Pass to 50 feet so we can continue to service almost 100% of the Gulf of Mexico oil and gas industry. I know all that because I see it firsthand every day. So in closing, I'll leave you with this. A vote for me is a vote for our community. It's a vote for a kid from Golden Meadow, Louisiana, who overcame the odds, became successful, and now wants to give back to his community. And it's for a man who still believes that a man's word is his bond, and that bond should never be broken. The election's April 4th. Early voting is March 21st through 28th. I'm number 182 on the ballot. I humbly ask for your vote and support. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Terry, you want to talk?
All right.
Mr. Rodney, got anything to say? Okay.
Thank y'all. All right.
Thank you.
Next,
Thank you all very much.
we have a special presentation. We'd like to recognize someone who worked for the Port Commission for 28 years and just recently retired, and that's Mr. Troy Dufresne, who's actually, I think we can call him Chief Troy Dufresne, the chief of Golden Meadow now. So Troy, this certificate, and I know Chief Mike Kindler has something for you as well. This This says, upon your retirement, the Great Lafourche Port Commission hereby acknowledges Troy Dufresne in appreciation for your 28 years of dedicated service and leadership as a Harbor Police Lieutenant and Security Technology Officer. Congratulations.
We're also giving Troy his retirement badge and his retirement commission as well, to show that he can carry a gun if he doesn't. Congratulations.
Any other public comment before we move on to the meeting? All right. Thank you, Mr. President. That concludes my report.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chasson. Next, we have committee reports. First, we have the executive committee. Members are Chucky Sherman, the chairman, Rodney Gisclair Sr., Mike Colley, John Mellison Jr. First, we have consider approving the request from LLOG to extend the mooring dolphin lease. Mr. Chasson, Mr. Brew, or Bryce.
All right, well, LLOG, L-Log Exploration has been leasing these mooring dolphins 25, 26, and 27 in Flotation Canal. Their request is to lease for another 3 years with 2 one-year options, and their recommendation is to approve.
Move.
Moved by Mr. Mellison, second by Mr. Jimmy Lafone. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Next, we have consider approving the request from Secor Marine to extend the short-term mooring agreement.
Okay, so Secor Marine has a short-term agreement, and they want to extend it, and that's to be able to place 2 jack-up boats, 2 lift barges, if and when they need to. They don't have any in there now, but they just have access to it. The recommendation is to approve this, but before we do that, I just want to let you know, y'all know we have some dredging that can be done. As part of the agreement, it allows us to request them to move. I think it's 30-day notice, something along those lines, that they move so that we can do the dredging that we need to do, and then they can come back whenever we're done.
All right. Need a motion? Moved by Mr. Mike Colley, second by Mr. Rodney or Gisclair. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Next, we have consider approving the request from Weeks Marine short-term lease agreement for site GLF 624.
Okay, so Weeks Marine has actually been contracted to do some coastal restoration work. That's going to do some work on West Bell Pass, and including West Bell Pass and Timberlair Island. They're going to be dredging offshore and then pumping that material there. And they need a place to bring some of their barges and equipment to be able to offload and unload personnel. No other activities will be able to take place there other than that. And they'll park a few vehicles as well. So they're going to lease GLF 624 is a 939-foot lease. They actually want to lease 450 feet. This is a short-term lease. If we do happen to have a tenant that wants to come in and actually lease the full footprint, then we can actually ask them to move or give them another location to go to. So the recommendation is to approve this short-term lease agreement. They would plan to be on that 450 feet for till the end of the year for sure.
Moved by Mr. Larry Griffin, second by Mr. Curtis Pierce. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Next, consider approving the advertisement for surplus equipment sale.
Okay, we have a number of surplus items that are available, and we want to put those out to bid. You see that list. That's including several vehicles and tractors and mowers and that sort of thing. So recommendation is to approve this list so that we can advertise.
Okay. Need a motion? Moved by Mr. Rodney Gisclair Sr., second by Mr. Curtis Pierce. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Next, we have consider approving the advertisement for some employees.
All right, every year we advertise and hire 6 summer roustabout positions. And we recommend that y'all approve us to advertise for that again this year.
I need a motion.
Move.
Moved by Mr. Larry Griffin, second by Mr. Rodney Just Claire Sr. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. That concludes our executive committee. Next, we go into Permits and Waterways Committee. Members are Curtis Pierce, Jimmy Lafourche, Rodney R. Just Claire, and Chucky Sherry. Mr. Pierce.
Good morning, and thank you, Mr. President. We have only one permit to bring out today and discuss. I don't see anything for the executive director.
Nope.
It's the first permit's on, and the only permit is for Lafourche Parish government. And it's after the fact permit construction of a barrier to prevent flooding due to storm surge. The barrier measures approximately 11,879 feet in length and consists of 3 alignments. The first alignment is approximately 4,723 feet long and consists of HESCO baskets aligned in a single row over an existing levee. The second alignment is approximately 3,227 feet long and consists of HESCO baskets arranging in a pyramid fashion with 2 baskets at the bottom and 1 stacked on top. The third alignment is approximately 3,929 feet long and was constructed by dredging filled material from Bayou Pointe au Chien. Approximately 15,900 cubic yards of native material was excavated and placed on site. Approximately 4,830 cubic yards of sand was hauled in as fill material. Approximately 12 acres consisting of upland, non-vegetated water bottoms, and vegetated wetlands were impacted and by the proposed activities. And that's all the ones I have to report. Is there any public comment? No, I don't see that.
Well, and I'll just make a comment to this permit request. If I'm not mistaken, I think Dustin can correct me, but this was part of a Hurricane Barry issue. There was some flooding taking place, and they wanted to stop that as quickly as possible, so they went out and did the action, and this is basically the permit that authorizes that action that took place already. Okay.
All right.
And that was a conjunction between Terrebonne Parish and Lafourche Parish.
Terrebonne, Lafourche, and 2 levy districts.
2 levy districts, correct.
And that concludes my report, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. Now we're getting out of Permits and Waterways. We go to Construction and Development Committee. Members are Larry Griffin, Chairman, Chris Colley, Jimmy Lafourche, and Chucky Sherry. Mr. Griffin, you up.
Thank you, Mr. President. First is consider approving the change order number 1 from sea level construction, slip C 400 feet east bulkhead.
Okay, so this change order is to add 21 days to the contract time because of some wind issues and some timing to get the steel material to come in. Recommendation to approve.
Okay, need a motion.
Move.
Moved by Mr. Griffin, second by Mr. Curtis Pierce. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Okay, next is consider approving the aviation fuel supply agreement.
Yeah, so we've been going back and forth on this, but we're working with Ascent Aviation Group and recommendation to approve their bid.
Okay, need a motion. Moved by Mike Colley, second by Mr. Chris Colley. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Next is consider approving the Federal Highway Administration agreement for the airport connector road and bridges.
All right, this is the agreement that goes with the $16.4 million that we received for the bill grant. Recommendation to approve.
Yeah. Need a motion. Moved by Mr. Rodney Just Claire Sr., second by Mr. Jimmy Lafourche. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
That completes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. Next, we're getting into Finance Committee. Members are John Mellison, Jr., Chairman, Rodney Just Claire Sr., Mike Colley, and Chucky Sherry. Mr. Mellison, your turn.
Good morning, and thank you, Mr. President. We'll begin by consider approving payment of the February 2020 invoices and recognizing those over $10,000. First, we have Sea Level Construction, $272,277.36. And that's for Slip C Phase 3, Phase 2, 400 linear feet of East Bulkhead Part 2. Next, we have PCO and Associates, $221,749.23. That's for the Airport Connector Road and Bridge. Slip C, Phase 3, 1,100 linear feet of East Bulkhead. And Slip D, Survey and Flotation Canal Volumes. Item 3, Shavers Whittle Construction, $152,000 even, and that is for the Slip C Phase 3, 1,100 linear feet of Bulkhead Part 1. Item 4, GIS Engineering, $82,689.45, and that's for the feasibility study and general engineering. Item 5, Stratum Engineering, $82,200. That's for the Flotation Canal Pavilion, the Tidal Creek Bridge, and the Airport Connector Bridge. Item 6, Grand Isle Shipyard, $56,503.55. That's for contract labor, limestone for the roadways, and the Coastal Wetlands Base Fill Phase 1. Next, we have Angelette Piciola, $45,440, and that is for the Fouchon Beach Maintenance, Restoration, and Protection Project. Item 8, Southland Dodge, $37,043.20, and that's for the acquisition of the new 220 Ram 250 truck, or 2500 truck. Item 9, Urban Systems, $30,933.28, and that is for the LA1 to LA3235 traffic study. Item 10, Carasoft Technology Corporation, $23,805.24, and that is for the VMware support. Item 11, Vision Communications, $23,513.80, phone cable and internet services. Item 12, Guardian Computer, $22,117.09, VMware infrastructure upgrade and offsite backups. Item 13, American Integration Contractors, $18,631.41, and that is for the wireless network, security systems maintenance, and camera repairs. Item 14, Bank of America, $14,123.06, and that is for monthly credit card charges. Item 15, Applied Concepts, $12,718.50, and that is for Stalker Dual Lafourche traffic radars. Item 16, R. Christopher Goodwin and Associates, $12,272.25, and that is for the Airport Corridor Project Survey. Item 17, Bozeman Distributors, $10,401.77, and that is for a new car wash for Fouchon, relocation and repair of the old one. Item 18, Southern Earth Sciences, $10,370 even, and that is for the Slip C 1,100 linear feet of bulkhead coating inspection. And these cost over $10,000, along with our other expenditures, is a total of $1,763,752.51. And Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion we accept these expenditures.
I got a motion by Mr. Millerson, second by Mr. Colley. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Next, consider approving out-of-state travel and training requests. We have Commissioner Rodney J. Gisclair Sr., Commissioner Curtis Pierce, Commissioner Mike Colley, and Commissioner Chucky Sheremy attending the American Association of Port Authorities in New York, May 5th through the 8th. And next we have Senior Accountant Specialist Lindsay Rister, along with IT Office Specialist Michelle Emard, attending the DocStar Insights Customer Conference in Tennessee. And Mr. Sherman, I'd like to make a motion we accept these expenditures.
I got a motion by
Our
Mr.
travel and training cost, I'm sorry.
No problem. We got a motion by Mr. Millerson, second by Mr. Rodney R. Gisclair. Any discussion?
I'd like to say that we're going to approve these, and we'll pay attention, and if they actually still happen or not. So, we'll see.
All right.
All right, and last, I'd like
Wait,
to,
hang on. Any more discussion?
I still have one left.
We didn't
We didn't
vote.
finish this one out
We
yet.
didn't vote. What's taking so long?
All right, any discussion? Any more discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Mr. President,
Motion passed.
I do apologize. I was trying to do a shout out for Miss Lindsay Rister. She's been out for surgery. And, well, Lindsay, we hope you're doing well, and we looking forward to you returning. And Mr. President, through the stumble and fumble, this concludes the financial report.
Thank you, Mr. Mellison. I know you were jumping ahead of the game, but we all right.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I finishes Finance Committee. Any other business? Any public comment? You got one thing to say. Chief Dufresne, thank you from the board. Thank you for your years of service. We appreciate it. Hope it's better for you and your future endeavors. But thank you very much for this board.
Don't be so hard on me on my poker game.
All right. Need a motion. Motion from Mr. Mike Mellison, second by from Mr. Larry Griffin. To adjourn. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Thank you all for coming to the meeting. We'll see y'all next time. Meeting adjourned.